Your husband renewed his relationship with Mrs. Camilla Parker Bowles. Were you aware of that?
Yes, I was. But I wasn't in a position to do anything about it. Well, there were 3 of us in this marriage, so it was a bit crowded.
Evidence solving the mysteries surrounding Princess Diana's death have just surfaced, and Queen Camilla could face jail time because of it. While it's long been accepted that Diana tragically died in a car crash, what if her death wasn't an accident at all? What if it was a carefully orchestrated plan and Queen Camilla was behind it?
Why has the most famous woman, possibly in the 20th century, who died in mysterious circumstances, not have what she's legally entitled to?
If you're curious to find out, join us as we unravel everything from mystery, betrayal, and the truth among the rumors of Queen Camilla getting sentenced for Diana's murder, a controversial claims about Princess Diana's death. It's sad but true. For the first time in history, the Queen Consort of England might just be sentenced for murder and heading to jail, causing chaos in the British monarchy like never before. This is no joke. Rumors circulating suggest a crime as horrifying as the Queen Consort herself being involved in the murder of none other than Princess Diana, a woman adored by millions. As this shocking news spreads, things are only getting more complicated. Dark secrets about Princess Diana's death are now being unearthed alongside the swirling rumors. But before we go any further, one burning question remains. Is there any truth to these whispers about Diana's murder? Sit tight, because what you're about to hear will leave you speechless. First, let's talk about the undeniable heartbreak. There's no denying that Princess Diana's death left the world in shambles. For the British people, and millions worldwide, her passing was more than just a royal tragedy. It was personal. Diana wasn't just a princess. She was a beacon of hope, kindness, and humanity. She was loved like no other. Then came the day no one could ever forget, August 31st, 1997. It was an ordinary day until news of the unthinkable spread like wildfire. Diana, Princess of Wales, was dead.
We interrupt this film to tell you we are getting reports that Diana, Princess of Wales, has been badly injured in a car crash in France.
We are getting one report from a news agency that the princess is suffering from concussion.
The details sent shockwaves through the world. A car crash in the Pont de l'Alma tunnel in Paris had claimed her life, along with the lives of her companion, Dodi Fayed, and their driver, Henri Paul. The official narrative was simple: a tragic accident caused by paparazzi chasing their car. But even as the world mourned, questions began to bubble to the surface. What if it wasn't an accident? What if something far more sinister had happened that night? These questions gripped everyone and refused to let go, planting seeds of doubt that have only grown with time. Now, these questions are resurfacing with even greater intensity. The whispers are growing louder, and the accusations are even more shocking. Could the Queen Consort of England have had a hand in Princess Diana's tragic death? While that might sound far-fetched, the rumors are gaining traction. This wave of speculation has thrown the monarchy into chaos and left the world watching in confusion. And yet, as wild as these claims might sound, they are now being paired with darker revelations about Diana's death. What are these secrets? And how does Queen Camilla fit into this already heartbreaking story? Well, the answer to this question is nothing short of frightening. The death of Princess Diana shook the world to its core, but nothing compares to the shocking allegations surfacing today, pointing fingers at someone very close to her. These accusations have created a whirlwind of chaos, with many questioning everything they thought they knew about the beloved princess's tragic passing. So how did these allegations even come to light? Surprisingly, it all starts with a man who was very close to Diana. We are talking about none other than her former butler, Paul Burrell. Back in 2003, Paul Burrell stunned the world when he revealed chilling details about the struggles Diana faced before her untimely death. According to him, Diana lived a life filled with betrayal, heartbreak, and endless family disputes. But the most shocking revelation came when Burrell released a note that Diana herself had written. This note, which has now become infamous, reveals something that no one could have ever imagined. In this note, Diana claimed that her ex-husband, King Charles, was planning an accident in her car. She specifically mentioned a scheme involving brake failure and a severe head injury. Reading those words is enough to send chills down anyone's spine, but it doesn't end there. According to Burrell, Diana wrote this note in 1993, a full 4 years before her death. She had apparently caught wind of Charles's alleged plans and decided to document her fears in case the worst happened. Now let's pause for a second. The idea of King Charles plotting such a heinous act sounds unbelievable, right? But when you dig deeper, the motive behind the alleged scheme becomes disturbingly clear. So what could be the motive behind Charles planning an accident for his wife in the first place? The reason for the disturbing scheme. Diana's note suggests that this plan was all about one thing, which is clearing the way for Charles to marry his mistress at the time, Camilla Parker Bowles. It's hard to ignore that this is the very same Camilla who is now the Queen Consort of England. It's a lot to process, and understandably so. The idea of such a dark conspiracy is horrifying, to say the least. But what makes these allegations even harder to ignore is the context of Diana and Charles's turbulent relationship. Let's go back to where it all began. Charles and Diana first met in 1977 at Althorpe, Diana's family estate. By all appearances, their relationship blossomed into a fairy tale romance. The two eventually married in 1981, in a wedding watched by millions around the globe, but behind the glittering facade of their union lay a harsh reality. Right from the start, their marriage was plagued with problems. According to Diana's astrologer, Penny Thornton, Diana revealed a heartbreaking moment that occurred the night before her wedding. Charles had told her that he didn't love her. He didn't want to give her false hope, so he laid everything bare. For Diana, this was devastating. She reportedly considered calling off the wedding, but in the end, she went through with it. What followed was a lavish ceremony that masked the cracks already forming in their relationship. But things didn't improve after they got married. If anything, their relationship became even more strained. The final blow came when a third party entered the picture in the person of Camilla Parker Bowles. According to Charles's own biography, his affair with Camilla began in 1986, while he was still married to Diana. This betrayal caused immense pain and unhappiness for Diana, who struggled to cope with the situation. In her now famous BBC interview, Diana openly admitted, "There were 3 of us in this marriage, so it was a bit crowded." This confession sent shockwaves through the world and painted a grim picture of her life behind palace walls. By 1992, things reached a boiling point. Prime Minister John Major announced that Charles and Diana were separating.
It is announced from Buckingham Palace that, with regret, the Prince and Princess of Wales have decided to separate.
Emphasizing that the decision had no constitutional implications. But for Diana, this was the beginning of the end. After 15 years of marriage, the couple finalized their divorce in 1996. Tragically, this was just 1 year before Diana's death. Now, it's easy to see how tumultuous Diana and Charles's relationship was. There were endless rumors of infidelity, emotional neglect, and even public humiliation. For Diana, it seemed like there was no escape from the shadow of Camilla. But what makes these new allegations so significant is how closely they tie into everything Diana endured. If Paul Burrell's claims are true, then Diana's fears of betrayal and danger were far greater than anyone realized. It's one thing to feel unloved or abandoned in a marriage, but to suspect your own husband of plotting your death? That's a nightmare no one should have to live through. What's even more disturbing is how many people seem to believe Burrell's story. His revelations have reignited old conspiracy theories and stirred up new questions about what really happened on that fateful night in 1997. Could it be that Diana's tragic car accident in Paris wasn't an accident at all? Was it part of a larger, more sinister plan to silence her forever? Murder mystery revealed. To understand why the allegations surrounding Princess Diana's death are so explosive, we need to look at the bigger picture. Diana wasn't just a princess. She was a global icon, a symbol of compassion, resilience, and grace. Her humanitarian work touched millions of lives, and her charisma made her beloved by people all over the world, but her popularity also made her a threat. Some believe that her growing influence, both within and outside the royal family, made certain individuals uncomfortable. Could this have played a role in her untimely death? It's a frightening thought, but one that many can't seem to shake. And then there's Camilla. As the woman who was once seen as the other woman, Camilla has long been a controversial figure. Her relationship with Charles, which began long before Diana's death, has been the subject of endless scrutiny and criticism. Now that she's the queen consort, some are questioning whether her rise to the top came at too high a cost. Of course, these are just allegations. Nothing has been proven, and it's important to approach these claims with caution, but that hasn't stopped people from speculating. The idea that someone as beloved as Diana could have been the victim of foul play is both heartbreaking and infuriating. But one thing is certain, the story of Diana's life and death is far from over. There are still so many unanswered questions, and the truth, whatever it may be, will undoubtedly shake the world once again. So how does Camilla fit into this web of tragedy? Clearly, the idea that Camilla played a significant role in the collapse of Diana and Charles's marriage isn't a shocking theory. After all, the evidence of her involvement in Charles's life during his marriage to Diana is well documented. But things take a darker turn when you consider the growing theory that Camilla may have also played a role in Diana's tragic death. How could this even be possible? To answer that, we need to revisit Diana's alleged note and the consequences of her divorce from Charles. While their divorce was finalized in 1996, one major issue remained. Charles still couldn't marry Camilla because, at the time, it was prohibited for divorced individuals to remarry unless their former spouses were no longer alive. This restriction wasn't overturned until a church synod in 2002. Now think about that for a moment. The legal barrier, which kept Charles and Camilla from being together openly, has led some to suggest that Diana's death was more than a tragic accident. It has fueled suspicions that Camilla may have had a vested interest in Diana's untimely passing. But here's where things get even more intriguing. Paul Burrell, Diana's former butler, isn't the only person pointing fingers at Charles and Camilla. Reports suggest that Diana herself confided in her solicitor, Lord Mishcon, in October 1995 about fears for her life. According to Diana, a reliable source had warned her of Charles's alleged intention to put her aside. Imagine how terrifying that must have been for her to hear. So what does this all mean? The possibility that Diana didn't die from a mere accident is one that's becoming harder to dismiss. A case that many believed had been closed long ago is now being reopened in the court of public opinion. With fresh investigations underway, there's renewed hope that the truth might finally come to light. The idea that Diana could have been murdered is as heartbreaking as it is complicated. But here's another twist to this already tangled web. Charles wasn't the only one accused of infidelity during their marriage. At one point, he accused Diana of having an affair with his captain, James Hewitt. This accusation added even more strain to an already crumbling relationship. The implications of all these claims are massive. It paints a picture of a toxic marriage plagued with betrayal and mistrust on both sides. But at the center of it all is the mysterious and tragic death of Princess Diana. While the truth behind her death remains unclear, one thing is certain. Diana's life and legacy continue to captivate the world. The questions surrounding her passing keep the story alive, even decades later. And as new theories and discoveries come to light, it's hard not to wonder if we'll ever truly know what happened that fateful night in Paris. For now, the mystery of Princess Diana's death remains unsolved. Whether the truth will eventually emerge or forever remain hidden is something only time will tell. Prince William and Kate Middleton had just moved into the town for a mini vacation, but only a few people knew about this. The royal couple were not looking for any form of drama or special treatment. They just wanted to have a nice time in Frome, Somerset. During the second week of the couple's stay in Frome, something most unexpected happened. The town had just 3 petrol stations, and it was enough to cater for the needs of all those living there. Aside from those residents there, the town rarely had visitors. Customers would often come in, fill up their tanks, and grab a few items from the store before heading out. But beneath the surface of normalcy, there was a lot of tension. The city had been experiencing unrest, and for 3 weeks, 2 petrol stations nearby had been robbed. No one knew which station would be targeted next. It was so bad that the convenience stores in the other 2 petrol stations were shut down due to lack of funds. The police were doing their best to handle the situation, but their response often came too late.
Watch as the worker completely ignores the man dressed in all black as he seems to hold a gun and a backpack up, demanding money.
By the time they arrived, the robbers had already disappeared, leaving everyone on edge. The stores were now a shadow of their former selves, and the owners found it hard to keep up. For the owners of the petrol stations, each robbery was a nightmare, a bad experience, and a heavy financial blow. ExxonMobil, the only thriving station left in the area, had become the prime target. The managers were gripped with fear, unsure how to handle the looming threat. Despite their efforts, the police hadn't caught any of the culprits. Witnesses from the previous robberies described the thieves as 2 young men. According to reports, the leader carried a gun, which intimidated the cashiers into handing over the money without resistance. The fear of being next was real, and no one knew how to stop it. In one of the robberies, things took a dangerous turn when a brave cashier tried to resist the thieves. Determined to protect the cash register and keep her job, she stood her ground. Unfortunately, this only led to the young men attacking her, leaving her badly injured. The robbers got away with the money, and the poor cashier ended up in the hospital.
A violent gas station robbery in New Jersey. You can see the thief on the left hitting an attendant on the head with a wrench, a big wrench. This happened Sunday night.
No one in the city knew they were in for a big surprise. Meanwhile, Prince William and Kate Middleton happened to be staying in the same neighborhood. The couple had decided to take a break from their royal duties and enjoy some quiet time together. Leaving their 3 children at home with the nanny, they set off for a romantic outing. After wrapping up their day, they got into their car, this time without their usual security escort. But halfway back to their lodge, Prince William realized the fuel gauge was almost empty. Kate quickly reminded him of a nearby petrol station. Relieved, the prince turned the car in that direction, unaware of the unexpected twist their evening was about to take. At the same time, the robbers arrived at the petrol station. The place looked empty, so they headed straight into the convenience store. One of them stayed by the door, acting as a lookout, while the leader stormed in holding a gun. He wasted no time and went straight to the cashier, pointing the weapon at him. The cashier froze for a moment, clearly shocked, but then slowly started pulling out the cash. Meanwhile, the customers were ordered to lie flat on the floor. Since there were only 2 robbers, they couldn't keep an eye on everyone.
Police have released video of a gunpoint gas station robbery. You could see here 2 men enter the gas station on Bartow Avenue in the Bronx around 12:30 Thursday morning.
Taking advantage of the chaos, one of the customers quietly pulled out her phone and tried to call the police. Unfortunately, an incoming call rang loudly, giving her away. The other robber, who was keeping an eye out for anyone approaching, noticed the lady with the phone. He stormed over, snatched it from her, and warned her that trying anything smart could get her killed. Just then, everyone heard the sound of a car pulling up outside. All eyes turned to see a couple arriving to refuel their car. With a bag full of cash and a few items from the shelves, one of the robbers suggested waiting for the couple to finish so they could drive off unnoticed. But the robber with the gun argued that staying any longer was too risky, since the police could show up at any moment. The 2 started bickering about what to do, but eventually decided to step outside. What no one knew was that the couple outside wasn't just any ordinary pair. They were the Prince and Princess of Wales, but what can the prince do about the situation? We are about to find out. As soon as the couple drove into the petrol station, Princess Kate sensed that something was off. She leaned over and whispered her concerns to the prince, who discreetly called the police. While they pretended to focus on filling their tank, help was already on its way. A few minutes later, the 2 robbers stormed out of the store, firing shots into the air. Their aim was to scare the couple and make a quick getaway. Startled but composed, the prince and princess watched as the robbers dashed toward their car, ready to flee. Prince William was ready for the robbers. Without hesitation, he aimed the petrol hose at them and sprayed them with fuel. Caught off guard, the robbers stumbled as they tried to get into their car. Just as they were about to drive away, the police arrived, blocking their path. The officers immediately ordered the men to exit their vehicle with their hands raised. The robbers slowly complied, but as the police moved closer, the leader made a desperate attempt to flee. His adrenaline-fueled escape didn't get very far, as another officer quickly tackled him and brought him down. The robbers were cuffed and shoved into the police van, still shouting curses at the prince and princess for messing up their plan. The police checked on the royal couple to make sure they were all right. The money bag was recovered and returned to the shopkeeper, who was overwhelmed with thanks and didn't know how to show enough gratitude to the royal family and the police. If it weren't for the prince's quick thinking, the robbers would have gotten away. The prince had literally put his life on the line to help. The gunshots from the robbers could have gone wrong in so many ways, but the prince didn't hesitate. He stepped up to help, no matter the danger. To make things even more complicated, Prince William wasn't as skilled in combat as his brother, Prince Harry. Like many members of the royal family, Prince William has strong connections to the armed forces. While he's deeply involved in charity work that supports the military and veterans, the Prince of Wales also served 7.5 years in the UK military.
Taking on the mantle of flagship also sees Prince of Wales moving to high readiness, something she spent the past year preparing for.
The whole of this year.
After completing a 44-week officer cadet course, he became a commissioned officer in the British Army in December 2006. Prince William then became a second lieutenant in the Household Cavalry, where he led a troop of 4 scimitar-armored reconnaissance vehicles. He was promoted to lieutenant a year later. After finishing his time with the Household Cavalry, the prince spent 2008 working with both the Royal Air Force and the Royal Navy. His 4 months with the RAF taught him how to fly helicopters and fixed-wing planes, while his 2 months with the Royal Navy involved shore training and navigation alongside sailors and the Royal Marines. In 2009, Prince William's interest in flying led him to train as a search and rescue pilot. After passing his exams with the Royal Air Force, he joined Sea Flight 22 Squadron at RAF Valley in Anglesey in September 2010. The shop owner was incredibly grateful, thanking the police repeatedly as he happily took back the bag of money. The prince quickly told everyone not to share the news of what had happened. He knew his family would be furious if they found out. As the heir to the throne, he wasn't supposed to be in any dangerous situation. It went against royal protocol. William then asked the police to keep him updated on the robbers. Prince William and Princess Kate Middleton got into their car and drove off. While Kate was happy they could help, she wasn't pleased that the prince had put his life in danger. Prince William apologized for a while, and Kate made him promise not to take such risks again. 2 days later, the police contacted Prince William to let him know that the case had gone to court. William was thrilled by the news. The robbers were also ordered to repay the money they had stolen from the other petrol stations. Prince William and Princess Kate later visited the stations to assess the damage. The couple then decided to help the stores recover by giving them £5 million each. The store owners were overjoyed as their businesses were able to bounce back. By the way, if you're not sure who this incredible couple is, they are next in line to the throne. The Prince and Princess of Wales, who marked their 13th wedding anniversary earlier this year, have been together for nearly 20 years. They first met at the University of St. Andrews in Scotland in 2001. Kate grabbed William's attention at a charity fashion show in 2002.
Kate Middleton, and you notice I pause here for dramatic effect.
Go on.
Is single again.
That is good news.
The more good news is she's modeling in some university fashion show this evening,
where she walked down the runway in a sheer lace outfit. While many see their relationship as a fairy tale romance, their path to marriage had its ups and downs. After a relationship full of ups and downs, rumors started in early 2007 that William might propose to Kate on her 25th birthday. Despite the buzz, William didn't propose. Instead, he decided to end things with his longtime girlfriend. The future king reportedly felt there was no breathing space for him in the relationship. Unlike their previous breakups, which were more private, this one was highly publicized. After the split, William was seen partying at a London nightclub. The prince told many of his friends that he felt a sense of freedom after the breakup. Royal expert Richard Palmer pointed out that it didn't take long for Prince William to feel the loss of Kate. William had a quiet trip to the cinema by himself, trying to cheer up after not ruling out the chance of getting back together with Kate Middleton. This was where it dawned on him that his life was incomplete without Kate. William went to the cinema with only his police bodyguard and watched Blades of Glory. He had left his army base for a peaceful evening out. His friends attested to the fact that William was already showing signs of missing his longtime girlfriend. Fate had other plans, and the couple soon found their way back to each other. Kate and William are believed to have reunited at a party on June 9, 2007, and have been together ever since. Thinking back on the breakup during a 2010 interview after their engagement was announced, Kate said she wasn't very happy about it, but it actually made her stronger. She got to discover things about herself that she did not know before. She acknowledged that the time apart helped her grow, even if it didn't feel that way at first. During their vacation, the couple found that spending time alone and helping others in need was a perfect combination. The families who were touched by the royal family's kindness will never forget it. Both Eaton and Harry vehemently denied the allegations, and a tribunal later made no ruling on the matter. However, it was revealed that Harry had received help with his A-level project, a necessary step to secure his place at Sandhurst. Harry's rebellious side was beginning to manifest at Eton. He excelled as a top-tier athlete, showcasing his skills in competitive polo and rugby union. He was also an active member of the combined cadet force, rising through the ranks to become a cadet officer in his final year, but he refused to apply himself in the classroom. With his school days behind him, Harry embarked on a gap year that would take him to the farthest corners of the world. He spent time in Australia, working as a jackaroo on a cattle station, but it was his journey to Lesotho that would leave a lasting impact on Harry. There, he worked with orphaned children and produced a documentary film, The Forgotten Kingdom, Prince Harry in Lesotho.
Prince Harry is a welcome visitor to Africa's mountain kingdom. His first trip to Lesotho was 9 years ago, and he takes a keen interest in the charity which he and Lesotho's Prince Seeiso set up together in 2006.
This kick-started a lifelong passion for humanitarian work for the young prince, a lifetime of service and adventure. Harry's love for the common man would even take a deeper and more interesting turn many years later, with a huge decision that would end up estranging him from his family. Marriage to Meghan Markle. Prince Harry's life took a dramatic turn in 2016 when he stumbled upon a video of American actress Meghan Markle on Instagram. It was a chance encounter that would change the course of his life forever. Harry was immediately smitten with the actress, and with the help of his friend Violet, he got in contact with her. Their whirlwind romance was marked by sporadic yet intense moments together, with Harry and Meghan navigating their busy schedules and secret meetups. Despite the distance between them, their connection only grew stronger. As their relationship blossomed, the couple faced intense scrutiny from the British press and even some of his family members. But Harry and Meghan didn't let that deter them. It only strengthened their love for each other. Eventually, they tied the knot in 2018 and started a family with 2 beautiful children. They had a beautiful wedding, and from the outside, they looked like a happy little family. But they both had to make a lot of sacrifices for that to happen. Today, the family of 4 lives in California, a far cry from the royal life Harry once knew, because he chose her over his place in the royal family. But for Harry, it's a trade-off he's happy to make for the love and happiness he's found with Meghan. In his memoir, cleverly titled Spare, Harry opens up about the challenges they've faced and the love that's kept them strong. It's a story of true love conquering all, even in the face of adversity. As Meghan moved to England to be with Harry, she left behind her successful career on Suits. When Harry proposed to Meghan and she said yes, by law, Harry was still to ask Queen Elizabeth for permission to marry, a tradition that dates back to a time when royalty married for political gain, not love. But the Queen didn't hesitate to grant her permission. As the wedding approached, the Queen showed her approval in a special way.
Queen Elizabeth II has now given her formal consent to the marriage of Prince Harry and Meghan Markle.
By inviting Meghan to Buckingham Palace to try on her personal tiaras. She even helped Meghan choose one to wear on her big day. But not everyone in Harry's family was as welcoming. Harry's father, Prince Charles, expressed concerns about Meghan living in Britain, citing financial reasons. But Harry suspects it was just a case of not wanting to be overshadowed by the new couple. Tensions also arose between Meghan and Harry's brother, William, and his wife, Catherine. The press somehow got wind of their arguments and printed headlines that only added fuel to the fire. Despite the family drama, Harry and Meghan exchanged their vows on May 19, 2018, at St. George's Chapel. Harry and Meghan's love story was often overshadowed by the dark cloud of media harassment. The British tabloid press stalked them relentlessly, publishing untrue stories about Meghan and fueling racist stereotypes. The constant attacks from the press took a devastating toll on Meghan's mental health, driving her into hiding and triggering panic attacks and suicidal thoughts. Prince Harry was desperate to protect his wife, fearing a repeat of the tragic fate of his mother, who died in a car crash while fleeing from the paparazzi. He knew he and his family had to escape the toxic media environment in the UK, so he made a very difficult choice. Harry announced on Instagram that he and his wife would be stepping back from their royal roles and splitting their time between North America and the UK. Their decision was dubbed Megxit by the press, a reference to Brexit.
First Brexit, now Megxit. Sources say the Queen has called on aides to urgently define the new roles of the Duke and Duchess of Sussex in the space of days, not weeks.
Harry has rejected the term as a label that targets his wife and reduces their complex situation to just a catchy hashtag. With everything that Harry has gone through with the British press, it makes you wonder why he would decide to bring the spotlight upon himself this time around, by airing out so much dirty laundry in his memoir, Prince Harry's Tell-All Book. The British press and public have been on the edge of their seats ever since Prince Harry made the announcement in July 2021 that he would be releasing a tell-all memoir that would give readers a clearer glimpse into the secret lives of the royal family. His family was not in support of the idea, but rebellious Harry always does what he wants. Now that the book is here, it's clear why the royal family was worried. Spare is a 416-page personal account of Harry's life, ghostwritten by J.R. Mooringer and published by Penguin Random House. In the book, Harry makes shocking revelations about private family moments and intimate conversations that could have staggering consequences for the royals. It is available in various formats, including digital, paperback, and hardcover. And for those who want to hear it straight from the horse's mouth, there's even a 15-hour audiobook edition, narrated by Harry himself. Even the title of the book is also a revelation of how Harry has felt about playing second fiddle to his brother his whole life. Spare refers to the age-old aristocratic adage that an heir and a spare was necessary to keep the family inheritance going. In Spare, Harry lays it all bare, sharing intimate details about his teenage years, his deployment to Afghanistan, and his complex relationships with his brother, Prince William, and father, King Charles III. He also opens up about his courtship and marriage to Meghan Markle, and the couple's decision to step back from their royal roles, which met a lot of criticism. While some critics praised Harry's vulnerability, others felt he shared too much. Despite the mixed reviews, Spare made history, becoming the fastest-selling non-fiction book of all time on its release date, according to Guinness World Records. The royal family doesn't want those details out there, but the book is already so big it is translated into 15 different languages.
After days of bombshell leaks and carefully selected press junkets, Prince Harry's memoir Spare has officially been released around the world.
It doesn't help matters for the royal that the book's proceeds are going to charity, making it even more popular among the masses who have always praised Harry as the people's prince. What do you think about the suspicions surrounding Princess Diana's death?
There's a quote in this book where you refer to your brother as your beloved brother and arch nemesis. Strong words.
There has always been this competition between us, weirdly.
The British royal family has always fascinated everyone, with people dreaming of being a part of the monarch. But Prince William's latest revelation has raised a lot of eyebrows. Recently, Prince William and Princess Kate have reportedly held a private meeting with their eldest son, Prince George, to reveal a long-kept secret. What's interesting is that all of this is happening amidst the rift between Prince William and Prince Harry, and Prince William even said there's no hope of reconciliation.
Look, there are two guys now who aren't talking to each other. William is not returning Harry's calls. Charles hasn't spoken to Harry in a very, very long time. He's cut him off financially.
What could the mystery that the royal couple has hidden from Prince George for so long be? Join us as we reveal the details behind Prince William's shocking revelation and what's happening in the British castle since he dropped the royal bombshell. The bombshell. Prince William revealed the shocking secret to Prince George during a carefully planned meeting with both him and his wife, Princess Kate. The preparation of Prince George for the role of king has been done with care, especially with how Prince William and Princess Kate have purposefully timed the revelation of his fate. As royal biographer Robert Lacey says, this important conversation happened around George's 7th birthday, and it was the beginning of his understanding the gravity of what his royal responsibilities mean. While it's admirable that such conscious preparation is done, this points to the deeper issue of the royal family, including Prince William, having strained relations with other family members. The ongoing rift between William and his brother, Prince Harry, coupled with worse family tensions, casts a shadow over George's future, and here's why this rift may never end. It was recently revealed that Prince William feels he has been personally attacked by his brother Prince Harry and has no intention of reconciling with him.
Your arguments with your brother became physical.
It was a build-up of frustration, I think, on his part.
According to a report by royal expert Hilary Fordwich, the fallout over Harry's memoir Spare has made things between the two brothers nearly irreconcilable. Fordwich says William and his wife, Princess Kate, felt personally affronted by the scathing revelations in Harry's book, which depicted the royal family in a negative light. This breach, Fordwich suggests, has made any potential reconciliation unlikely. The split between William and Harry has been under heavy public scrutiny, and with his future as king looming, William is said to be even more circumspect about any public association with his brother. As he works on building himself up for his future reign, he considers the constant drama involving Harry a distraction he can ill afford. This strained relationship is further compounded by Harry's decision to speak publicly about their private matters, further distancing himself from the royal fold. The weight of his future role as king is already felt by the 42-year-old heir apparent, Prince William. His preparation for duty was led, says royal expert Hilary Fordwich, by his grandmother, Queen Elizabeth II, who spent Sundays tutoring him on royal obligations. As William prepares to ascend the throne, Fordwich mentioned a huge generational pressure on him amid an increasingly critical public regarding the monarchy and his desire to see it remain popular. The tension in William's relationships with some relatives, especially after Prince Harry's public attacks in his memoir Spare and the unsavory associations of Prince Andrea, was another class of scrutiny altogether.
And then the full-blown fight between the two brothers later on that Harry writes about in his book Spare, where there was this physical confrontation between William and Harry.
William is reportedly estranged from Andrew, who has repeatedly created controversy for the family over his associations with convicted offender Jeffrey Epstein. Fordwich said William has a clear desire to keep himself as far away from Andrew as possible to protect the monarchy's future when he becomes king. Reports also suggest that William is embracing his growing influence and is prepared to lead with a stricter approach. A palace insider revealed that William is unwilling to tolerate any resistance to his authority and is aiming to become one of the toughest monarchs the family has seen. He is reportedly focused on maintaining financial discipline within the royal household, ensuring that no special perks are granted, and emphasizing environmental responsibility. His determination to reduce wasteful spending, including limiting the use of private jets, aligns with his vision for a more sustainable monarchy. William must deal with the conflicting demands of his personal obligations and the changing dynamics within the royal family as he mulls over the future of the British monarchy. His legacy for his children and the country will probably be influenced by the mounting pressure to manage these difficulties. But here's something quite fascinating. One may be wondering how this rift between Prince William and Prince Harry even started. and what could have led to such a deep divide between the two brothers. The tension between them, once a symbol of royal unity, now seems irreparable. The reasons behind this fracture are complicated, leading to their current estrangement.
How would your mom feel about your relationship with your brother now?
I think she would be sad.
From conflicting values to public revelations, it all adds up to a dramatic shift in their relationship. But one thing is certain. Whatever Prince William is leaving for his children will inevitably be affected by his relationship with his brother. Stick around, because you'll soon find out the full story and the shocking details that sparked this dramatic fallout. The brothers' fallout. The rift between Prince William and Prince Harry, once seemingly inseparable brothers, actually has its roots in their childhood, where a series of events gradually shifted their bond from close allies to that of being more like distant rivals. Growing up in the limelight, the brothers were often seen as one, with their shared experiences as sons of Princess Diana and Prince Charles. But tragedy tinged their childhood when their mother died in 1997, a feature that affected both of them quite deeply. While working their way through the grieving process, William, the older brother, continuously protected Harry from the media and public scrutiny, sometimes weighing on their relationship since Harry felt he lived in the shadow of his more serious and studious older brother. Added to this was the pressure of living up to expectations placed on William as heir to the throne. Meanwhile, Harry's rebellious nature and independence-seeking personality often sought attention in ways that sometimes clashed with William's more reserved nature. Their relationship became even more frayed as the brothers entered early adulthood. In 2005, Harry's decision to wear a Nazi uniform to a costume party sparked outrage, and William, already by then steeped deeply in royal duty, was called upon to intervene publicly in support of his brother. An apology from Harry did little to mask the fact that the brothers' roles were changing. With William becoming ever more dedicated to his future role as king and subsequently marrying Kate Middleton, Harry continued to become the spare. The real cracks in their relationship started when both brothers grew older and pursued different paths in their lives. It was Harry's memoir, Spare, which opened this canyon of isolation forming between the brothers in 2023. Harry had aired grievances in the Book of Feeling, increasingly pushed aside and unsupported by William, often seen as the favorite child.
Prince Harry's highly anticipated tell-all memoir, Spare, it has officially hit bookstores nationwide. The Duke of Sussex recounts decades worth of personal struggles and royal family tensions, but still no comment from Buckingham Palace.
He even accused William of being part of a system that perpetuated tension and rivalry within the royal family. William, for his part, felt deeply hurt by Harry's public revelations, particularly as they painted the family in an unflattering light. The media storm that followed only deepened the divide between the two. As the years went on, Harry's decision to step back from royal duties and his move to the United States with his wife, Meghan Markle, further isolated him from the royal fold. It was the ultimate test of their relationship, with William reportedly feeling that Harry's actions were an affront to the family and the institution. Things only got worse between the brothers when Harry spoke publicly about personal details of their private conversations and family matters in interviews and public statements. For William, it was not only the emotional damage of these exposures, but also a position in the future throne that has made reconciliation all but impossible. The deepening rift is no longer a purely personal matter. It carries implications for the future shape of the monarchy. This is why Prince William's statement that there's no hope for reconciliation has great implications, and the details will amaze you. No hope for reconciliation. Putting aside their previous tiffs and disagreements, what initially seemed like a minor disagreement at the end of 2018 has now blown out into a very deep and public break that does not seem to be healing anytime soon. With William in place to ascend the throne, and Harry well into his new life across the Atlantic, the drama has raised questions about the future of the monarchy and what place their children might occupy in its evolving narrative. It all started in November 2018, when rumors broke that Meghan Markle and Kate Middleton were at odds. But sources close to the royals soon let slip that the real tension was between the brothers. Harry reportedly felt that William hadn't done enough to welcome Meghan into the fold, leading to a confrontation during preparations for the Christmas. Although King Charles intervened to mediate, and the Cambridges invited the Sussexes to spend the holiday together, the tension did not dissipate. By December, public moments like William appearing to ignore Meghan during a family walk hinted at deeper issues. By early 2019, the cracks in their bond became harder to hide. Reports suggested William had expressed concerns about Harry's whirlwind romance with Meghan, advice that Harry interpreted as criticism. The protective younger brother reportedly felt his relationship was under attack, marking the beginning of what royal commentators now call the royal feud. Public appearances grew increasingly awkward, with Harry and William seen avoiding each other at Easter services and other events. The situation reached a boiling point in June 2019, when the Sussexes officially split from the joint charity they had shared with the Cambridges, signaling a clear divide in their paths. But it doesn't end here. The situation worsened in 2020, with Harry and Meghan's decision to step back from royal duties, a move that reportedly blindsided William. Dubbed Megxit by the press, the announcement marked a definitive break from royal tradition and escalated the rift. Tensions were palpable during the couple's final royal engagement at the Commonwealth Day service, where body language experts noted frosty interactions between the brothers. Meanwhile, Harry's growing partnership with organizations like Netflix, which produced the controversial series The Crown, further deepened William's frustrations. In 2021, the feud reached new heights with Harry and Meghan's explosive interview with Oprah Winfrey. Harry admitted that his relationship with William had become strained, saying they were on different paths. While expressing love for his brother, he also acknowledged the challenges of working within the royal institution. The interview not only highlighted personal grievances, but also exposed the monarchy to unprecedented scrutiny. Subsequent events, such as Prince Philip's funeral, offered fleeting opportunities for reconciliation, but reports described their interactions as cold and distant. This gap has only been getting wider in the last few years, and Harry's memoir Spare added more fuel to the fire. Claims of physical fights and emotional alienation gave a grim portrayal of their relationship, one which seemingly cannot be repaired. To William, the stress of these revelations cuts in strong contrast to his image as the steadfast heir to the throne. His position is not only significant as a future king, but also as a symbol of continuity in a family that has long placed a premium on unity. But this is more than a fight between two brothers. It's one with great implications for the monarchy's future. As William prepares for his reign, he must balance how this discord will be remembered with the need for the royal family to remain relevant in a changing world. Privileges and challenges of that life, including the fractured family dynamics, will now devolve to his children, Prince George, Princess Charlotte, and Prince Louis. Still outstanding is how their relationships with Harry and Meghan will evolve with time, and if they will ever heal a rift their parents could not. Do you think Prince William will ever reconcile with his brother despite his shocking statement that there's no plan to reunite? Number 10. Revelation of ancient secrets. What would you do if hidden secrets, buried for hundreds of years, suddenly came to light in 2025? This is what Nostradamus, the famous 16th century prophet, predicted. According to his writings, unveiling these ancient mysteries could change everything we think about human history and knowledge. People have long wondered what secrets these mysterious discoveries might have.
As you enter the temple, it's like you're going inside a book. It's literally full of texts. Every wall, every column, every room, every chamber is filled with text.
Some believe forgotten or suppressed texts might contain advanced insights into science, philosophy, or spirituality. With today's technological advancements, we're closer than ever to uncovering long-lost writings in old libraries, sacred temples, or ancient tombs. Others interpret Nostradamus's words as hinting at the discovery of mysterious artifacts, and these are items with unknown powers or technologies far beyond our current understanding. These objects, if found, could shake the foundations of our knowledge about the world and what's possible. What do you think? Do you think 2025 is the year we get to see it all? If you feel this is thought-provoking, wait till you see the next prediction. Number 9. Extreme climate changes. Interestingly, next year could be when nature strikes back with a force we can't control. Nostradamus warned of intense climate changes that could disrupt the planet's balance. He described furious winds and raging seas, leading many to think he foresaw hurricanes, violent storms, and other extreme weather events growing more powerful and frequent. But these aren't just far-off possibilities, because today, we already see stronger hurricanes, severe floods, and deadly wildfires sweeping across the globe.
Wildfires across the American West have served as an urgent reminder of the threat posed by extreme weather, which is often made worse by climate change.
Scientists tell us that as climate change accelerates, these extreme events will likely worsen, bringing even greater destruction and loss. Nostradamus's predictions suggest that 2025 could be a turning point when nature's fury becomes impossible to ignore. In his strange writings, mentions of fire in the sky often refer to wildfires, consuming vast areas and choking the air with smoke. The darkened skies he spoke of may point to pollution and global dimming, a phenomenon caused by pollutants from fossil fuels that block sunlight, changing the atmosphere. But could Nostradamus have foreseen the planet reaching a crisis point? Number 8. The rise of cryptocurrencies. Nostradamus's prophecies hint at a financial world turned upside down by 2025. In one of his mysterious verses, he speaks of copies of gold and silver losing their worth, leading many to believe he foresaw the decline of traditional money like banknotes. Today, we're seeing how inflation and rising global debt weaken the value of physical currency, which aligns with his prediction that paper money might become nearly worthless. But that's not all. Nostradamus also predicted the rise of cryptocurrencies. These copies of gold and silver could represent digital currencies like Bitcoin or Ethereum, which mimic precious metals in their role as valuable assets, but exist purely in the digital world. Nostradamus suggests that by 2025, cryptocurrencies will become even more popular, attracting investors eager to escape the uncertainty of traditional currency. As more people enter this digital world, new cryptocurrencies may appear, and the virtual marketplace known as the metaverse could expand even faster. But certainly, as we approach 2025, we may find ourselves on the brink of a financial transformation unlike anything we've experienced before. Number 7. Prince William reunion. Many years ago, Nostradamus had predicted the reunion of the royal brothers, and for the first time in 80 years, Jupiter has entered Harry's house and family, bringing unpredictable, intense energy. This has sparked rumors that a reunion between the royal brothers, Prince William and Prince Harry, might be possible. The two have grown apart recently, but could this astrological event signal a chance for healing? Prince William, born under the Sagittarius-Capricorn cusp, is a natural leader, but he may only reach his full potential as a ruler later. While dedicated to his duties, his recent anger towards Harry's public attacks on the monarchy suggests that potential reconciliation might not be easy. William has made it clear that he does not trust Harry or Meghan, and sources say he would block any attempts for Harry to return to royal duties. When King Charles was diagnosed with cancer, Harry returned to England to visit him.
We've received breaking news from Buckingham Palace, which has announced that the King has been diagnosed with cancer.
He is also reportedly willing to come back to help with royal responsibilities temporarily, but stepping up in his father's absence, William would not welcome Harry back into the royal fold. William's priority is his family, the monarchy, and his father's health. He believes Harry has betrayed the family, and there's no sign that he will forgive him soon. In his memoir Spare, Harry criticized his family, accusing William of violence and publicly attacking other royals, which deepened the rift. Although King Charles hopes to repair the relationship between Harry and Meghan for the sake of the monarchy, many believe that a full reunion is unlikely. So could Harry ever return to royal duties? The answer we don't know, at least for now. Number 6. Large-scale military conflicts. One of Nostradamus's most intriguing prophecies is that in 2025, the world could face large-scale wars that might push nations to the brink of disaster. His writings, filled with dark imagery of fire and blood in the sky, suggest that these conflicts could involve airstrikes and bombings, leading to devastating effects across multiple countries. With current global tensions between powerful nations, such as the US, China, and Russia, these prophecies may point to the risk of war. Nostradamus seemed to foresee a time when diplomacy failed, and countries turned to violence to solve their issues. His references to great eagles facing each other are often thought to symbolize the US, China, and Russia, whose relationships have worsened in recent years. The possibility of territorial disputes or misunderstandings between these superpowers could ignite a large-scale conflict. The fire in the sky could even hint at nuclear warfare, making such a war even more destructive. Many also believe Nostradamus was predicting a new global war 79 years after World War II ended, particularly over China's rising power. China's aggressive actions in the South China Sea and Taiwan have raised concerns about potential military confrontations involving NATO countries and possibly leading to an all-out war. But is this prediction made by Nostradamus accurate? Let's wait and see. Number 5. The coming of the Antichrist. Nostradamus is famous for predicting the rise of 3 antichrists, and many believe the third is already among us, ready to bring the apocalypse. The first 2, Napoleon and Hitler, have left their bloody mark on history, but the third, some say, will get a much darker future. People have speculated about who this powerful figure could be. Some point to figures like Donald Trump, Joe Biden, or King Charles, but the true identity remains uncertain. What is clear, however, is that we are living in a time when the battle between good and evil is intensifying. According to prophecy, the Antichrist will be a master manipulator who can easily gain followers and deceive the masses. The Bible talks about many antichrists throughout history. Still, there will be one final ultimate ruler, the true Antichrist who will dominate for a brief time. This person's influence will be overwhelming, making it the final chapter of Satan's reign on earth. As if to reinforce this grim forecast, Nostradamus also predicted extreme natural disasters, long-lasting droughts, floods, and even nuclear disasters. With the world in turmoil, these calamities seem more and more likely, making Nostradamus's visions strangely relevant to today's world. Number 4. Controversy in the EPL. You may not know, but Nostradamus's prophecies have long intrigued football fans. One of his quatrains predicts a dramatic showdown in the Premier League. He refers to the besting of the Eagle, which many believe points to 2 teams, Tottenham Hotspur and Crystal Palace. The eagle represents Crystal Palace, nicknamed the Eagles, while Tottenham's crest features a cockerel. In his vision, Nostradamus speaks of the eagle's wings being poorly finished, suggesting Crystal Palace could face serious financial trouble, possibly due to issues with the Premier League's economic rules. But the most interesting part? He also predicts Tottenham will swoop in, taking advantage of Palace's weakness to strengthen their squad. The prophecy hints at a power shift, with Tottenham seizing the opportunity to outmaneuver their rivals. While some believe this could happen next year, no one can be sure. The quatrain is cryptic, leaving room for multiple interpretations. Number 3. Volcanoes and floods in Brazil. If you're familiar with Nostradamus's prophecies, you will know that his predictions often seem to point toward disaster, and one of his most chilling quatrains hints at a future catastrophe in South America. The passage speaks of a garden of the world near a new city, which many believe refers to Brazil, home to the Amazon rainforest. The prophecy warns of this area being seized and plunged into the tub, which could symbolize severe flooding, but the mention of waters poisoned by sulfur stands out. Many interpret this as a reference to volcanic activity, suggesting that Brazil's mountainous regions might experience eruptions and toxic gases. This is particularly interesting because there have been rumblings in nearby volcanoes in recent years, which left people worried about potential eruptions. While it's impossible to know if Nostradamus had foreseen the dangers of natural disasters striking Brazil, the strange connection between his words and current concerns makes it feel like something catastrophic could happen somewhere in the future. Do you think this prophecy will come true? Number 2. The world leader. Nostradamus, the famous astrologer from the 15th century, made many predictions that still spark interest today. One of his most intriguing prophecies speaks of a powerful leader from the north who will rise to change the world forever. According to Nostradamus, this leader will have a strong, unyielding grip on power, leading to both positive and negative changes on a global scale. Some believe this prophecy could point to a world leader emerging next year who will shake up the existing order and drastically alter global politics. With rising political tensions and divisions in many countries, the stage seems set for such a leader to take charge. This person could challenge the current power structure, creating a new world order. Many are now wondering if this leader is already making their way onto the global stage, or if they are yet to fully reveal themselves. While some point to current leaders with strong control over their nations, others feel the true figure has yet to appear. As we approach 2025, the mystery of this prophecy continues to captivate, leaving us to question if the world is about to witness the rise of this great figure, just as Nostradamus predicted. Number 1. Global natural disasters. Nostradamus had long predicted a series of natural disasters could shake the world in 2025. He spoke of massive earthquakes, floods, and storms that would be unlike anything humanity has ever faced. These catastrophic events would not only affect powerful nations, but also small communities across the globe, signaling an environmental crisis of unprecedented scale. What makes this prediction even more unsettling is how it aligns with today's reality. Experts have long warned that climate change is increasing the frequency and intensity of natural disasters. Rising temperatures, deforestation, and pollution are all contributing factors. Nostradamus's vision might warn about the long-term effects of human actions on the planet. While Nostradamus's prophecies are often symbolic and open to interpretation, many see this warning as a call to action. The natural disasters he predicted for 2025 might not just be signs of disaster, but a wake-up call for humanity to take urgent steps in addressing climate change and environmental destruction. That brings us to the end of this video. What do you think about these strange Nostradamus prophecies for 2025? Early life. Nostradamus's family were originally Jewish, but they converted to Catholicism to escape persecution during the Inquisition. His father was a grain merchant, perhaps foreshadowing his interest in famine. Nostradamus displayed exceptional intelligence from a young age. He received early education from his grandfather, Jean de Saint-Remy, who recognized his potential. Nostradamus also received a unique education in his youth. He mastered the foundational languages of Latin, Greek, and Hebrew, alongside mathematics. This laid the groundwork for his future intellectual pursuits. More importantly, his grandfather taught him astrology and Jewish myth. Though widely debunked today, astrology was very popular in Renaissance Europe. It argued that the movements of bodies in the sky influenced events that happen on Earth. However, we can't discuss the early life of Nostradamus without revealing the foundations of his passion for prophecy. Are you ready to find out? Frustrated by the lack of scientific explanation for the plagues that befell Europe, Nostradamus quickly fell back to astronomy to understand the future through the stars. Nostradamus wanted to be able to foresee whether more plagues awaited the world. His Jewish traditions also played a key role in shaping his worldview. The Jewish background of his family exposed him to rich symbolism and prophecies found in the Hebrew Bible. Nostradamus's formal education was cut short by the bubonic plague, a devastating pandemic that ravaged Europe in the mid-16th century. This event undoubtedly shaped him in many ways. Witnessing the horrors of the plague firsthand may have planted a sense of impending doom and a desire to understand the forces that govern human fate.
When the plague struck the Roman Empire in the 6th century, it went on to kill 25 million people. Eventually, the plague wiped out 60% of Europe.
Nostradamus's adopted surname, Nostradamus, is a Latinized version of his original name, Michel de Nostradam. Some have argued that the bubonic plague he encountered was likely the second wave of the Black Death, a pandemic that wiped out nearly a third of Europe's population in the 14th century. Nostradamus also traveled as a traditional maker of herbal remedies. This must have exposed him to various medicinal plants and their properties. This knowledge likely aided him in his future medical career. Sit tight, as we want to reveal a bitter motivation for his prophetic career. Let us know what you think in the comments section. Do not forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel. Click on the next video displayed on your screen. You will enjoy it.